So, today we're going to tackle one of the biggest ideas in modern philosophy, Sri Aurobindo's incredible vision for bringing spirit and matter together. I mean, think about it. He's asking a huge question. Can something we think of as infinite and, well, perfect actually live inside something as messy and limited as our world or even our own bodies? It sounds impossible, right? But his answer builds this amazing bridge, showing us how to find the divine, not out there somewhere, but right here on this planet. All right, let's just dive right in. The whole thing really boils down to this one question, a question that has literally divided thinkers for thousands of years. Is this world you see around you, is it real, or is it all just some kind of cosmic illusion? A big, complicated dream that we're supposed to wake up from. How you answer that question changes everything. It puts you on one of two totally different paths. On one side, you've got the path of negation. This is the idea that the world is basically an illusion, a trap, and the whole point is to get out. But then there's the path of affirmation, and this is where Aurobindo lands. It's a complete 180. It says, no, this world is real. It's a real expression of the divine, and our job isn't to run away from it, but to actually transform it. So, to really get what Aurobindo is doing, we first have to grapple with the idea he was pushing back against. And it's a powerful one, this notion that our world is just an illusion. So, this brings us to the classic idea of Maya. And what this really means is that everything we experience, all the ups and downs, the struggles, even the things we're most proud of, is basically a cosmic mirage. It's like this incredibly detailed, beautiful dream that's distracting us from the one true reality behind the curtain. And if you believe that, well, then everything you do in this life is, in the end, kind of pointless. And this quote, wow, it just nails the feeling, doesn't it? It gets right to the heart of why this idea is so appealing. I mean, let's be honest. You look at human history, you see the same mistakes over and over. War, suffering, broken systems. It is so easy to feel like it's all just a big, pointless circle. That feeling, that sense of what's the point, that's exactly where this kind of philosophy takes root. Okay, but here's where Aurobindo comes in with a totally radical alternative. He says, no, spirit and matter aren't at war. They're not enemies. They're actually partners in this incredible cosmic dance. And you can hear it right here in his own words. He's basically calling out what he calls a partial logic. He's saying it's a huge leap to just assume that because the ultimate spiritual oneness is real, that all the many different things in our world must be fake. He's asking, why does it have to be either or? Why can't both be real? So here's the absolute core of his idea. For Aurobindo, our world is not some cosmic mistake we need to escape from. It is the absolute, the ultimate divine reality he calls Brahman, choosing to express itself in all this stuff. The potter and clay analogy is perfect here. You can have 1,000 different pots, all with unique shapes and functions, but they are all, at their core, made of the exact same clay. That's our universe. It's a wild diversity of real things, all made from a single divine substance. And this totally flips the old idea of Maya on its head. For Aurobindo, Maya isn't some power of illusion or deception. No way. It's the exact opposite. It's the divine's creative power. It's the ability of this infinite consciousness to shape and form a very real universe out of its own being. Think of it like a cosmic film projector. The divine is the light and matter's the film, and together they create the real vivid movie of our existence. Okay, so if we accept that the divine is actually manifesting in the world, you have to ask, how? How does that actually work? Well, this brings us to what Aurobindo calls the ladder of consciousness. Let's see how this thing is built. It all kicks off with this wild idea called involution. This is the first step, and it's a descent. The infinite spirit, the absolute, basically dives headfirst into what looks like total unconsciousness, into matter. It willingly puts on these limitations. That analogy of an author writing themselves into their own book is just perfect. Imagine forgetting you're the author, just so you can experience the story from the inside, as a character on a journey of discovery. That's involution. So, after that dive down comes the long climb back up. And this is evolution. But we're not just talking about biology here. This is the evolution of consciousness. That spirit that got hidden inside matter starts to push its way out. You see it first in the simple stirrings of life. Think plants reaching for the sun.
Then comes mind, this partial, seeking kind of awareness we see in animals, and of course in us. But it's not the end of the road. It's always pushing, always reaching for that next massive leap, up to the supermind.
Right, and this is the giant question hanging over all of this, isn't it? It's the big but. If the divine is literally baked into the fabric of reality, if it's hiding in every rock and tree, then why is our world so obviously imperfect? Why is there so much ignorance, pain, and suffering? If everything is spirit, you've got to ask, why doesn't it look a lot more, well, spiritual?
Aurobindo's answer to that massive question, the key that opens the door to our next evolutionary step, lies in a state of consciousness that is way, way beyond our current mind. He calls it the supermind. Now, this is so important to get right. The supermind is not just a more powerful intellect. It's not about having a higher IQ. Think of it as a completely different operating system for reality. Our mind has to search for truth, piece it together. The supermind, it just knows. It possesses truth directly. It's the creative power that actually builds worlds. And it's the ultimate bridge connecting that silent, single oneness with our chaotic, multifaceted world.
And look at how integrated this is. For us, right now, knowing something, being something, and doing something are three different things, right? I can know I should go to the gym, but that doesn't mean I'm actually doing it. There's a gap. In the supermind, there is no gap. They're all one thing. Consciousness is knowledge, being is the substance of that knowledge, and will is the force that automatically fulfills it. To know is to be, is to do. It's all just one single perfect movement. So how on earth do we get there? Well, Aurobindo says it's not just going to happen on its own. We have to participate. We have to do the work. And the method he lays out is called integral yoga. And let's be clear, we're not just talking about stretching on a mat here. This is about transforming the whole shebang. Your mind, your emotions, your body, everything. The goal is to make your entire being a fitting vessel, ready for this higher consciousness to come down and fill it. So what's the endgame here? What's the point of all this cosmic evolution? It's not about escaping to some heaven in the clouds. Not at all. For Aurobindo, the whole point is to make this life, right here on Earth, divine. The final product of this whole process is what Aurobindo calls the Gnostic being. You can think of it as the next version of humanity, the consummation of the spiritual person. This is a person who isn't run by their little isolated ego anymore. Instead, their entire life is guided by this huge, universal spiritual force that just flows through them. I mean, just try to imagine a world populated by beings like that. It wouldn't just be about individual enlightenment, it would completely change our society. You'd see conflict give way to harmony, because everyone's individual will would be in sync with the total will. That constant feeling of struggle would be replaced by this deep delight in just being alive. And we wouldn't see nature as something to be conquered, but as a partner to be transformed and uplifted. And this quote just wraps it all up so perfectly. It's about becoming complete. Complete in our being, complete in our consciousness, complete in our power, and complete in our joy. To live in that state of total integration, that is divine living. That's the destination we are all, according to Aurobindo, slowly, painstakingly evolving towards. So we've gone on this huge cosmic journey, right? From the depths of unconscious matter all the way up to this divine supermind. But in the end, it brings us right back here, to this moment, to us. Because if the whole point of the universe is to transform itself from the inside out, if the goal is to make life divine, you have to ask yourself a very simple, very urgent question. Where does a transformation that massive even begin?